The Forsaken have always been one of Warcraft's darkest and most complex factions. Once a people without a future, now struggling to define who they are after the fall of the Banshee Queen and the rise of the Void. With World of Warcraft Midnight returning us to the Eastern Kingdoms, this is the perfect time to ask, what happens to the Forsaken next? In this video, I'll explore 5 Forsaken storylines that Midnight could bring to life, from rebuilding Lordaeron to uncovering the shadows beneath Tirisfal, and even new enemies within their own ranks. And where better to begin than their homeland itself? Lordaeron, the ruined kingdom at the heart of Forsaken identity, is the perfect starting point for their next chapter. The Forsaken have reclaimed the surface of Lordaeron, but what does that really mean? The blight still lingers in the Undercity. The royal throne room stands silent, its stones scarred by plague. And though Kalia, Menethil, and Lillian Voss sleep with hope, there's no identity yet for this new Forsaken nation. In Midnight, Lordaeron could become a central hub, rebuilt with patches of haunted beauty, still scarred, but slowly restored. Imagine questlines about reclaiming the sewers, or purifying pockets of plague. Players could finally see the Forsaken forging a real homeland again, but not without internal debates. Should they embrace Kalia as a vision of redemption and healing, or remain loyal to the old ways of Sylvanas, clinging to vengeance and shadows? This storyline is about identity. Who are the Forsaken now? But just as they begin to define themselves, an old enemy rises once more. No Forsaken story is ever complete without the Scarlet Crusade. Their holy war has always burned brightest against the undead, and with Midnight's themes of void corruption, the Crusade could rise again. To the Scarlets, the Forsaken aren't people, they're abominations, and after decades of clashes across Tirisfal, Silverpine, and beyond, this old hatred could easily ignite once more. Picture Scarlet warbands reclaiming ruined watchtowers, raising their crimson banners over broken walls, or even attempting to march on Lordaeron City itself. For the Forsaken, it would be a reversal of history, forced into defense, but finally with the chance to break their ancient enemies on home soil. But there's a complication. Kalia Menethil now sits in the Leadership Council. Her bloodline carries both reverence and suspicion in equal measure. Would the Scarlet see her as a fallen heir, a traitor who embraced Undeath, or would they brand her a false prophet, an obstacle to their holy war? Either way, the Menethil name could become the flashpoint for this conflict. And let's not forget, Lordaeron is still scarred with plague bombs from the Fourth War. Even in reclamation, the land itself remains poisoned and dangerous. Any Scarlet incursion wouldn't just be a crusade of faith, it would be a desperate grab for control over a kingdom twisted by blight and shadow. But if the Scarlet Crusade represents the Forsaken's eternal enemy, there is another shadow they can never truly escape. Sylvanas Runrunner. Even in her absence, Sylvanas' choices still define who the Forsaken are today. Every district of Lordaeron City carries the memory of her rule. Every rival faction across Azeroth still associates the Forsaken with their campaigns of terror and Undeath. No matter how much their leadership has changed, her reign casts a shadow that refuses to fade. Midnight could lean directly into this fracture. What if a loyalist cult of Sylvanas still lingers in the shadows? Dark Rangers who never bent the knee to Kalia or Voss. These remnants might sabotage rebuilding efforts, spread doubt amongst their kin, or even declare themselves a breakaway sect of Forsaken who seek to reignite her legacy. To them, Sylvanas was not a tyrant, but the one true protector of their people. And while her memory lingers above ground, whispering through ruined halls and fractured loyalties, there are even darker secrets waiting beneath the earth itself. Deep beneath Tirisfal glades, scars remain from battles long forgotten. Whispers in the stone, chambers sealed away, and traces of magic no one fully understood. The Forsaken now sit above these hidden wounds, and in Midnight, those secrets may finally resurface. Imagine quests where Forsaken adventurers descend into forgotten tunnels under Lordaeron, uncovering abandoned laboratories, failed plague experiments, and whispers of the void bleeding through the stone itself. These depths could become a mirror of the Forsaken's own existence, a world of half-life and half-death, caught between decay and transformation. The question becomes, does the Forsaken Nation resist the void, or are some tempted by its promises? Eternal freedom from pain, release from the chains of mortality? These are the seductive whispers the void might offer to a people who already straddle the line between life and death. Some Forsaken may cling to their grim independence, while others fall into cults of shadow, convinced the void is their true destiny. This storyline would merge the Forsaken's intimate themes of decay and survival with Midnight's grand narrative of the void's invasion, placing them not on the sidelines, but at the very heart of the expansion's conflict. And that sets the stage for the final question. Even with shadows clawing at their borders and faithless cults rising below, can the Forsaken rise beyond mere survival and truly build something new? In Midnight, Blizzard could surprise us with experimental and even uplifting stories for the Forsaken, ones that could break away from endless tragedy and redefine what their people stand for. Imagine Forsaken-led settlements above ground, no longer lingering in ruins, but building communities where undead resilience is blended with living culture. Picture villages with both lanterns and braziers, warmth and cold side by side, symbolizing a new balance. We could even see unlikely alliances, humans of Lordaeron who survived the Scourge, standing alongside the Forsaken, acknowledging a shared homeland despite everything that's been lost. Over time, this could even lead to unification of cultures, the living and undead working together, healing old wounds and forging something entirely new. This would be the boldest direction of all, not just rehashing their haunted past, not simply casting them as monsters or victims, but elevating the Forsaken into a people with vision, a nation that claims its place in the future of Azeroth. Their story would no longer be defined by loss, but by legacy. So those are 5 Forsaken storylines I think World of Warcraft Midnight could explore, from reclaiming Lordaeron, to facing old enemies and shadows within, to imagining an entirely new future. But what do you think? Should the Forsaken cling to their dark identity, or embrace redemption and change? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Midnight predictions. Thanks for watching. It's me, Mook. I'll see you in the next one.